Episode 159. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have DC All-In Special. We have Storm #1. And we have Hyde Street from Ghost Machine. Let's check them out right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. My name is Frank Zanca. I am an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, talk about comics. We just got this in the mail. This is my prototype for Lords of LA #2. This is my vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood. So yes, we have Marilyn Monroe in there, and we have plenty of blood, sex, and gore, so it's more of an adult book. But yeah, so we have plenty of action and blood and gore and all that stuff in there. Lots of fun. Anyway, if you want a copy of it, let me know, because I'm going to be putting my print run in. And yeah, just DM me or put a comment in, and I'll see it. All right. Plus, I know I've been talking about this for a while, but we finally launched Mythlord Classic Monsters card game just in time for Halloween, with art by Marvel and DC cover artist. He is doing some amazing work as well with Spawn. I think the Spawn one went viral. But anyway, all the artwork is his, and he and I teamed up to make this amazing card game. So it's pretty cool. And it's, again, just in time for Halloween. And check out the link in the description below. And yeah, we're about 30% to goal already. We only launched a couple of days ago. All right, so let's jump into DC All-In. This is the gimmick of the lifetime here. I really don't care about All-In at all. I'm just collecting a couple of things to see what's it about. So we have this cover, and then we have this cover. So they're doing some kind of an Elseworlds thing, and again, I can care less. But there's two sides of the book here, which is why there's two covers. And I'm not even going to really go into the second half of this. I'm just going to really just glaze over it. So everybody was talking about the fact that this is really like, what, the new 52, because it's 52 days later, and the other one was, the other side is 52 days earlier. Let's see. And the artwork in the second piece does not even match the stuff on it. Like this one, this artwork here is good. And this is all about, the beginning is all about them making the Justice League cards out of technology from all over the place. Who cares? So, again, the artwork is really nice. That's a nice picture of Superman there. And we're talking about all the Justice League members, the Titans, etc. And he goes to see Booster Gold, who is kind of unused, but he's kind of a goofball from the future. He basically has, he was giving away his parts of his costume at one time for patches to sell commercials on, kind of like he was a car in the NASCAR or something to that effect. But Superman says, hey, I would like to come back and work for the Justice League. And he gives him the Justice League card. And he's like, oh my God, I remember this. And he thinks back in time, you know, to when he was a security guard or something like that, working in a museum, and he saw one of these cards. New commercial for Superman. It looks pretty good. Batman, etc. So they have this new Justice League tower, and they're all flying to it, you know, because everybody is doing a big congregation here to be able to give these new cards out. And he's like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's just so amazing. But anyway, we have a whole dark side thing happening here that opens up all these little portals. And Darkseid comes through missing a hand with now a hatchet attached to it. And we have this kind of a battle takes place, and he's like, this is wrong, something's wrong, doesn't match what the future was. And he is now connected, meaning Darkseid is now connected with the Spectre. Oh, that's right. It's the same artist that does Wonder Woman, which is the only reason I'm still collecting Wonder Woman is because he draws an amazing, amazing Wonder Woman. So he's like, so this all takes place after Absolute Power because Waller removed all of the connection to the multiverse, and he felt it, and he wants answers, damn it. Meaning Darkseid. So there's some kind of portal that they have to go back in time through, but there's only one person that they can send back in time who's a time traveler, and that is Booster Gold. So now he's going to go back in time or to whatever, find out what happened with this whole thing, and he finds out that Darkseid has taken over everything in this other universe. I'm not sure if it's another universe or another time at this point. It doesn't matter to me. So, and then that's it. That's the end of it, where he gets attacked, and of course it's upside down and whatever else. But the one thing in the other book I wanted to show you, so he has a big fight with Calabac, which is his son, meaning this is all about Darkseid. The second part is all about Darkseid. But Darkseid, I thought, was like impervious to just about everything, right? He hacks off his own hand, but I thought he was impervious. Why? And he hacks it off with just a regular axe? I don't know. I don't care. We'll make a good movie. No, this is going to be complete dirt. I heard the Batman one was okay. I'm just going to get the first one, and that's it. I'm not interested. All right, let's jump into Storm. Number 1. Everybody knows that I'm a huge Storm fan, and I'm going to give anything a chance that she's in. Unfortunately, no one can write her. I don't know why. They keep giving her to people that just don't understand, and I'm very confused. And she doesn't really need a solo book anyway, because she's better. She's a leader, so she's better with other people underneath her. But this is by Marawa Audel. I don't know. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. But I can tell you that this person doesn't understand. Right off the bat, they're making her very African, which she's never really dressed in African way, unless she was like when the Queen of Wakanda. I don't think she even looked like that in Queen of Wakanda. I don't really understand what's going on here. I mean, the artwork is really good. But anyway, she's trying to be a congresswoman. She's not political. Why would she try to be a congresswoman? And then somehow she's a multi-millionaire and created a city that floats, that has all these animals in it. I don't know what's going on. This is not Storm at all. And this is her speaking about this event that happened, and then we flash back to that event that happened with some kind of pulse wave going on. And there's this other woman with her, and they're going to try to stop this natural disaster from happening and save some people. And there's these pulse waves that are occurring from this nuclear power plant. I don't even know who that Kahari person is. But anyway, she's like, oh, don't hurt me, don't hurt my child. I'm like here to save you, buddy. You gotta calm your ass. And then, she has to hug people, all this stuff. I don't know. This is Storm number 1. The best we can do is a natural disaster. So she's like, I'm going to have to... that's right. She gets a chunk of wood or whatever else stuck in her. And she goes and flies towards whatever is happening with this pulse wave that's coming out of the nuclear facility. And she's thrown backwards. And the whole thing is that she takes the door and tries to fly with it. And then she finds out it's a mutant that's causing all this accidentally because they can't control their powers because it's a younger person. And she goes and flies and hugs him. Save it with love, baby. Save it with love. So we find out that it wasn't the nuclear power plant at all. It was this person doing it. So all of the workers are taking the fall for it. And she has a choice whether she's going to tell the world that it was a mutant that did this, or if she was going to let the power plant workers take the fall. And then we see her with Tony, and she's kind of discussing her options. And here she is addressing them. and I guess she kind of tells the truth. But here's her thing, hovering above the city like she's Queen Sheba here, or a dictator, like showing her power above everybody else. I don't get it. Since when does the X-Men have floating cities? I mean, I guess Magneto, but he could do that on his own. He could create that stuff. Storm can't. And I don't know what's going on here, but she has this special costume when she's talking to whatever the Beyonder is, or whatever the guy is there, universe. I don't know. I don't care. It's crap. It's not Storm. It's another story. In other words, it's the two choices that writers have. Either they can write a story with the character, like what would the character be, what would the character do in this situation, or they create a situation and they hammer the character in it until the character is unrecognizable. And that's what we have here. We have a writer that just wanted to write something that person wanted to write, and the character didn't fit into it, so they stuck the character in there. But I want to read a Storm book. I want to read a superhero Storm book, and I'm not getting that here. It's just whatever. And would make a good film? Nope. And besides, again, Storm would not work on her own. She's part of the X-Men. Right now, she's part of the Avengers. Whatever. But at least it's still a team. All right, so let's jump into Hyde Street by Image Comics. This is Ghost Machine. This is Jeff Johns writing this thing with Ivan Reis. And the artwork is pretty good. And this is basically the Twilight Zone. The guy actually looks like Sterling a little bit, but he's called Mr. X-Ray because his name is Xavier Ray. That's his middle name anyway. I don't remember what his first name was. And he actually has a whole narration as if he is Rod Serling, in the Twilight Zone. So the storyline behind this is that there's an alternate dimension where evil people go. They don't realize they've gone there. They walk down the street and suddenly they're on Hyde Street, and they're there to be punished by the people, the residents that they call them. That's what they call them, the residents of Hyde Street, of which Mr. X-Ray is one of them, and we get to see a little bit of his backstory. But no, first we go into this old woman that's trying to find her car, and she's like, where did all this construction come from? And there's a little Boy Scout whose name is Pranky. Not Frankie, not like my name, but Pranky with a P. He says, I will help you cross the street, ma'am. Come on, let's go. And she's like, oh, thank you, young man. You're such a nice boy. And he's like, I will even carry your groceries for you. And then he gets like all evil, and she's like, no, hold this. What are you doing with all these poison in your thing? He's like, what? Because she was saying that her daughter died at 5. And he says, oh, but you poisoned your daughter, and she died within a week, but your husband needed 3 weeks, or something like 3 months to die. And so I guess she's just killed everybody for whatever reason. And she gets killed. The guy kills her. So as he's walking off, he bumps into X-Ray Man, Mr. X-Ray, and this is where he kind of looks like Rod Serling a little bit, and we get the whole Twilight Zone type of narration. And I guess Pranky there's somebody who's controlling all this that's keeping score. And he's like, I'm going to get my way out of here because I'm almost to that score. It's called the scorekeeper. And he's like, yeah, but Mr. X-Ray's like, yeah, I don't want to do what you're doing. So we get to go back to see Mr. X-Ray, and he's one of the people that creates the ads that go into old comic books in the 60s, because there was the X-ray glasses back in the day, and so it makes fun of the old ads that went in. He even has sea monkeys, and this dude that does the artwork for him, I guess they both embezzled from an ad agency that they both worked for. One's a creative guy, another guy's a sales guy. How do they embezzle? It's not like there was computers back then where they can hack. It doesn't make any sense. There's no way that a creative guy can embezzle. They don't have any access to funds. What do they do? Walk into the bank with a gunpoint? That's the way to embezzle anything. Or to steal the deposit being made. I don't think... It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, they go into that he was about to... The creative guy was about to kill himself. And instead they left to go do this venture together. And he's like, why do we have to prey on kids? And they get a box in the mail with a monkey in it. And they go to catch the monkey because the monkey bites him and escapes. And the monkey jumps out the window and dies. Oh well. Poor monkey. He made it in the box all the way. I don't know how that happened. He made it in the box all the way from Africa or whatever without any food. Or being able to piss or anything. I don't know what the hell. So then we have Mr. X-Ray. He's back in Hyde Street. And there's a doctor or whatever. And he's like, I don't want my face changed anymore. I don't want it changed. And he didn't want to mess with the doctor that's chasing him. And then we run back in time again to his origin story, where I guess he had a daughter and the mother died, and she's staying with an uncle that's abusive, and she goes to him for help, and he says, "Buzz off, kid." Yeah, so he's a really nice guy. Apparently, he really adheres to people and loves them, which is apparently how he ended up on Hyde Street. And she runs down, and he comes out looking for her, and instead he runs into Pranky. So apparently that's how he got onto Hyde Street, apparently. And the thing is 32 pages long. Yeah, see? A 2-page spread of nothing happening. And then he goes to see Pranky he says, don't make me burn your house down again. So apparently he's burned it down before. And Pranky hits him with his slingshot to the head, and apparently he's very demonic. Really nice kid there, and we see the scorekeeper keeping score. Some of the names here are pretty funny. Dr. Ego, Miss Goodbody, Raquel Vane, then Mr. X-Ray, the Matinee Monster. So they all have like little things here. Lost Eyes, the Builder of Hyde Street, the Chain, whatever. Sisterhood. Oh, that was pretty funny. But anyway, so let's do a recap. So, will this make a good film or television show? I guess it's kind of like a Creepshow situation where it has different things, but I'm not sold. I'm not continuing this. I'm not sold on it. Storm number 1. Absolutely not. I am dropping this one. And DC All In. Not interested in the least. Dropping that too. So, nothing I read here was good. I mean, High Street was okay, but it's just not grabbing me. So, and again, the artwork on all 3 of them is very good. Thumbs up on the artists. I appreciate their art. All right, well, that's it for me. If you're collecting this stuff, let me know what you guys think, because Hyde Street got pretty good reviews. All In got some really good reviews. Everybody disliked Storm, so it wasn't just me. But the other 2 are just me. And I'm not saying High Street's bad, but it's just not hitting me. And All In Special, I just don't care. Let's stick with the regular continuity. I don't know why we have to go off on 10 million things of continuity. It just makes no sense. All right, well, thanks for watching all the way through, guys. I really appreciate it. Remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. Anything you can do helps the algorithm. And if you can subscribe, please do. Ring that bell, ding, ding. It's free. Why not? And remember, too, that the link in the description below for Kickstarter for Mythlord's Classic Monsters with all the artwork done by Mark Spears, who does Marvel and DC covers, and play as your favorite classic monster. We got Dracula, Frankenstein, the Creature from the Deep, and I just did a thing today on with Amanda Panda on Twitch today. It was pretty cool. We played Tabletop Simulator for it. And yeah, you build your monster army and you fight over locations. It's lots of fun. All right, check that out in the description below. There's like a video there as well. And check out some other videos, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys.